Like if we did top 5 Billy Joel and
Do you have
Piano Man was
COVID?
number 1
because
for you.
it doesn't seem like you have any taste.
Whoa.
That's a bar.
Have you used that before?
No.
Did you just make that up right now?
Sort of, yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah. You're like, well,
Hey,
I
I-
overheard somebody say something similar. I don't think it's what they said, though.
Right.
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
Jessica Chastain and Oscar Isaac were seen getting cozy.
Oh, getting cozy. We have a getting cozy
on
update.
the red carpet. It was a steamy photo op on the red carpet at the where was it? It was at the
I would assume it was for Dune.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Let me see. I mean, I should have
Let's
just
not
read
get bogged
this
down in the
headline.
details.
Jessica Chastain and Oscar Isaac set the internet on fire over the weekend after the pair shared an unexpectedly sexy moment at the Venice Film Festival. I love that term, an unexpectedly sexy moment.
Very few moments are unexpectedly sexy. For the most part, I feel like sexy
Generally,
is something that you have
sexiness
to
is
try to
anticipated.
achieve.
Right.
Yeah.
You put in the work. And then,
Exactly.
And then if it's not sexy, it's not even unexpectedly not sexy. You're like,
Right. It's just
win some, lose some.
This is like he failed at being sexy.
Right. This was this effortlessly sexy from these two?
I think so. Have you seen the video?
I seen the video,
Yeah.
and let me tell you, it set my internet on fire.
Yeah,
I was
it
having router problems.
It was a bit weird.
I thought
It was a bit weird.
it's one of those things where like a scene in a movie where you're like, boy, I bet if you took away all the music, this would be super weird.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen it
In like super duper slow motion.
with like glamorous
Yeah,
stuff and
right.
all this that. I'm like, I feel like if I were just seeing two people standing there.
Or if it just like wasn't the two hottest people in the world.
I know this is gonna be a big episode for hot people because we got to talk about Chastain and Oscar Isaac setting the internet on fire. But we intentionally waited. We did not do the ABBA news for Friday's episode because we love the Patreon folks. We love that. We love doing the Creek Speak. And if there's huge news, sometimes we'll throw it in there. But it would be unfair to not talk ABBA on this episode. So we're going to do a lot of ABBA on this ep. And they're just extremely hot people. But Chastain and Oscar Isaac. He gives her the... So this was at the Venice Film Festival. They were promoting their new HBO series, Scenes from a Marriage.
Oh, okay.
Which,
So it wasn't for Dune.
yes, in which they play a married couple. I'm already thinking the meme of this week could be Scenes from an Italian Marriage. And it's just like Carm and Tone, like drinking orange juice.
Don't
around
hate
the
that.
old
Might need a little
homestead.
fleshing out.
Scenes-
I think there might be something between like this whatever marriage thing and a marriage story.
I looked up. I was like, is this a sequel to, like, did Noah Baumbach do this? And I don't think so. This is an HBO series. It's not a movie.
Okay.
Adam Driver isn't in it. I did see that for some reason, that like scene was, I guess, Vanity Fair would say it set the internet on fire because I was seeing a lot of people tweet about that famous scene from Marriage Story where they get in the fight in his apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd seen so much stuff about, or I'd heard so much buzz about the scenes from a marriage, and I hadn't really seen trailers. I was like, this must all be a thing. They must be doing a sequel to Marriage Story. I don't think they are. I think people were just like, yo, let's talk about Adam Driver punching a wall.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing this, though. I mean, miniseries have been so hot these days that
Yeah, and I mean, like, I love Oscar Isaac. I love Jessica Chastain. I think if you go back in the archives, I've been like standing Jessica Chastain as like one of my most underratedly hot people in Hollywood.
really,
Yes.
she's a very hot person.
Very, very hot person. And like again, I think that this moment, this shared unexpected sexy moment,
Mm-hmm.
really sort of like toes the line between like this wouldn't be like a thing that anybody gets crazy over if it weren't like the two hottest people in Hollywood on the red carpet.
So
It's fucking weird, man. He caresses her arm.
here's where I'll give you, and like she's not even flexing, but there's just definition to that bicep.
Of course.
Here's where I'll give it unexpectedly sexy. I don't know, and I like Oscar Isaac a lot, but despite liking Oscar Isaac and loving Inside Llewyn Davis, I know that I can't really participate in the Oscar Isaac conversation because I haven't seen he did Star Wars movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably what he's best known for at this point, right? He's like the Star Wars guy.
Considering like it's Star Wars probably, but like his character in Star Wars is nothing crazy.
Okay. So I consider myself an Oscar Isaac guy. I don't know that I've ever found him particularly charming. Certainly not
Really?
No, like I think he's like handsome, but I don't know if I've necessarily been blown away by his charm. This was, I mean, there's going for it, and there's what Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain did at the Venice Film Festival over the weekend. He grabs her arm, gives the little what for.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Yeah. I'm going in.
I think there's like a forearm kiss or something too.
It was romantic.
Yes.
It was like romantic. It was sensual. It was sexual. It was more than like
Oh, that's not good. I just Googled Oscar Isaac and then to check if there was a spouse involved. There was a spouse involved, and it says trending next to the spouse's name.
because people are like
It's
searching exactly what you just searched.
Yeah, right.
For exactly the
Yeah.
reason you did.
Yeah, this is a real like Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga situation we've got unfolding on our hands.
I'm waiting for people to find this weird, and then Oscar Isaac to have like a really weird apology that it's like, oh man, we were kind of ready to forget about this, but now I feel like we kind of have to talk about it. Like where he puts out this big this like sorry, not sorry, sorry you were offended thing of like. For years and years, people have kissed each other's hands on the outside. I move up the arm a little bit and maneuver into the inside of the bicep, and suddenly something's wrong with it.
He does the old like Matt Damon. It's like I stopped kissing arms years ago, and I just made one mistake.
What if he says it's a COVID thing? What if he's like,
ooh,
chances are germs are on
you know,
a hand if you kiss
you're supposed to sneeze
exactly
into your armpit.
right.
Your arm.
Although if he is
Armpit? What
yeah,
is this? Elbow pit?
Yeah, the what's oh wait, this is called what's the
weenus.
Yeah, so the outside of the elbow is the weenus video watchers. So this
is the classic weenus.
and that's where isn't it true that there's no I can feel it. Isn't there supposedly no there's no something where like it doesn't hurt if you actually
Right.
get hurt there.
No idea.
Yet the funny bone is right below it. Fortunately, today's our doctor episode. Got a lot of questions. It would be great to just have a doctor on the episode and be like, hey,
Just like a third person.
nothing specific. We're not having you on to talk about anything specific. Just kind of sit with us for a second. Well, I'm sure we've got a lot of questions.
Like, what's the deal with the weenus?
Yeah. They say that, I mean, I'm pinching it right now. I'm feeling
Doesn't it? Do you feel it?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't.
I got nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm getting some sensitivity.
Should we try to stick like a knife through it?
You're kidding me? I can feel it.
I mean, like, there's no pain or anything. I mean, I can like feel it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like when you get like Novocaine, you can like feel the pressure and stuff, but there's no pain.
Maybe I have like a thin weenus or something. Maybe
Can't wait for Brunch Out of Context to tweet that out.
Maybe I've got just like a thin layer of whatever you're supposed to have there.
Where's your source on this story?
What story?
The unexpected sexy moment.
Oh, I totally made it up. It's Vanity Fair.
Oh, damn it. That sucks.
Why?
Because it says unexpected sexy moment and it's hyperlinked, and if it was a different source, I would have been very excited if they both used unexpected sexy moment.
Look, we all agree. We're all in a Slack and or Discord together. Does Slack still happen?
Yeah, I still have a Slack.
All right. We're all in a Slack, and we decided this sexiness kind of caught us off guard, so here's the phrasing we're going with. But if you're sneezing into your elbow, which is supposed to, that's sending it in a place where it's not going to get anybody in trouble. But what happens when a person starts kissing that area? Then person could say like, oh, I'm going to the safest space. That's where you sneeze. And it's like, yeah, bro, That's where you sneeze.
That's true.
If
That's
she
gross.
has sneezed today, you are
Toast.
you're done.
I do like this. Jessica Chastain tweeted out September 12th, and she just tweeted a picture of a guy
Addams
kissing a
Family.
woman's arm.
Yeah, Addams Family. I believe that is. I don't know any of their names,
Me neither.
but that's Mr. Adams
And Mrs. Adams.
and Mrs.
apparently.
Adams. Who, let me tell you, speaking of hot people, Mrs. Adams, quite hot. Can't really see Mr. Adams' face, so apologies. We don't know. You got a good hairline though, Mr. Adams.
Solid.
But he's giving her the old Oscar Isaac.
I'm
Come over here, baby. I'm gonna give you the Oscar Isaac. And they're like, ah.
straight up lifting this from Washed.
What's
And
that?
circling back.
Oh no, that wasn't the gangster's voice.
It sounded quite like it.
That was like an actor. That was like an old actor.
They're all the same.
Yeah, I guess they all spoke the same way.
Yeah.
And I chose to focus on the arts, where they were doing the dangerous killers out there with Tommy guns and whatnot. Speaking of killers, shout out to the actor who portrayed one of everyone's favorite characters, Omar Little. And I feel bad for. I saw a video of him talking about, like, he actually had a tough time, Michael K. Williams, like going back to real life after being Omar, because obviously, this will not surprise you, Michael K. Williams did not have a ton in common with the character Omar. And he said he was just always like a kind of corny dude, and like nobody ever thought that he was particularly cool, and they definitely didn't think he was tough. And then like once he played Omar, people would just flood to him and be like, "You are my favorite person." And obviously he had his demons, and we lost him too early. Like shout out HBO for always like going to that relationship as often as they could, because he really was like one of the great television actors.
He was awesome. Obviously, Omar was great. Boardwalk Empire is sneakily like one of my favorite shows too, and he was awesome in that. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on Twitter after it came out, but like I have to imagine that nobody did the like, well, actually Omar wasn't that great, blah blah. Like I feel like anybody who has ever seen Michael K. Williams act in anything has always been like, that guy fucking rules.
Yeah, I don't think I've even. I mean, I hope no one would do it yesterday, but
you'd be surprised.
Yeah, I know it is Twitter where people are the worst, but I don't think I've even seen someone be like, "Hot take: Omar's not that good."
Yeah,
like everyone knows that's an incredible actor, and even his scenes were great, regardless of whether it was like Omar doing something incredible or like his scenes with Stringer Bell were great. His scenes with in court with any judge or any lawyer were great. He was.
It's like very hard to stand out as an actor on The Wire.
That's what I tweeted right after I saw that news.
Did you?
Yeah, I said, I said, you know how good an actor you got to be to give perhaps the best performance on that show. Like that's.
I mean, like I don't. I mean, it's got to be like a 1A 1B situation if you're going like Oscar Isaac and Stringer Bell.
Isaac,
not Oscar Isaac. Shit, Michael K. Williams and Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. Yeah, and that was like some people responded. They were like, "Yeah, like if
like
you can
everybody was
hold
good
your
on that
own
show.
or out against or outshine Idris Elba, you are."
Everybody on that show was so good though. Like
I know
everybody.
I ended up going down a rabbit hole where I think YouTube did like some like messed up stuff with their recommended videos. Like I wasn't watching any Wire stuff, and every now and then on YouTube I will go down a Wire rabbit hole where it'll just put Wire scenes on the right, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go watch a bunch of Wire scenes.
The thing about that is like if you click one, you're there
toast.
for the rest of the day.
Yes. Yesterday I hadn't been doing that for a while, but yesterday YouTube was like, bet you want to watch this Wire thing, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of seedy. I don't deserve this based on my recent
like
clicks.
monetizing a death.
Yeah, but I watched it, and it was all the actors talking about the different parts that they went out for and how they were almost cast in other ones. And obviously that happens on every show, way more than we consider, because you think of like okay, like,
You just like
this person
connect
was
this
born
person.
to
Yeah,
play
right.
this person, and you find out like, oh no, that was like their third choice, but it's a good thing it ended up happening because this person was so great. The guy from, I think, I think that the guy who's Gabriel in The Walking Dead, you know that guy? He's one of the cops.
Yeah.
He's one of the cops in The Wire.
Gabriel's the priest, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
okay.
think he said that he was like a finalist for. I think he was a finalist for Stringer Bell.
Really?
And
oh, boy.
what's Homeboy's name? The guy who plays the main guy, the main cop. Why can't I? This is rough. I can't think-
McNulty,
Yeah, the guy who plays McNulty. What's his name?
Dominic something.
Correct. Not Purcell. Dominic. Whoa. When I just Googled Dominic, the first two names that came up were Dominic Purcell. You know who he is? It's Prison Break.
Okay, yeah,
And Dominic
Lincoln.
West.
Is it Dominic West?
Yes,
Okay.
Dominic West. Yeah, Dominic West was just like laughing out loud at the idea of that dude playing Stringer Bell. He was like, oh my God. He was like, that worked out perfectly for everybody because he ended up getting a character that he did very well. And people would have just hated him if he was Stringer Bell.
Yeah, he has like very
What a
nervous
waste of a
energy,
character.
sort of.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Idris Elba. I mean, that's unfair, though. When you think of, if you know that Idris Elba ended up playing
Right.
somebody, to be like, anybody else would have played them, you're like, oh, crisis averted.
Yeah.
That would have sucked. But Michael K. Williams, a real bummer. And then, of course, you end up learning more about the guy once they die, and you see that, like, I didn't know that he was that outspoken with his addiction and everything. I honestly didn't even know that
I didn't know that he had addiction
any
issues.
addiction issues, but it seemed like he was an awesome guy, and that's a fucking bummer, man, because he like legitimately is a legend, whatever you
And, like-
want to call it.
And like a very active legend. He was still doing a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's like such a bummer.
Yeah,
I mean, it's always a bummer, but it's especially a bummer when like they're still in the middle of this whole thing.
yeah, and he was great in The Night Of.
Right.
I remember he gave like a chilling scene in The Night Of, and obviously he like kills people in The Night Of, but when he's explaining to Nas's character that like he'll just cut deals to take falls for whatever murders and everything, he just says like very offhand, he's like, fuck do I care?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I'm in here for a million
Yeah.
years anyway, and I'm like,
It's like what's like however many more years.
yeah, but just like being so like flippant about like someone can go kill somebody and I'll just
It doesn't
be,
affect me.
right, like he played a scary character very well, but obviously there was so much more to Omar, and just a fucking great character. I'm gonna probably spend weeks now watching on YouTube. They'll keep throwing up the Omar videos. A couple weeks ago, randomly, I did watch Omar's death.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which tough.
Do you remember how he dies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gets shot by the kid.
Little kid.
Yep.
Man. It was gonna take some funny business to take down Omar.
Yeah. Like it had to come from like the most unexpected
In that
way.
You know I'm not a jump scare guy. You're going to have to explain Don't Breathe 2 to me this
Yeah.
episode. You know I'm not a jump scare guy. That's a massive, like,
That's like
not quite jump scare, but like heart attack moment.
I would imagine that like the rewind like
Rate is
rates,
high.
yeah, is quite high when that happens. You're just like, what the fuck?
Ugh, terrible. So,
Guy just wanted a pack of Newports.
and is he also, I think he's also going for Honey Nut Cheerios.
Really?
At some point, maybe it's another scene where he goes into, because I think there's multiple scenes where he goes to the convenience store.
I think he wanted a
he's just
soft
like-
pack of Newports.
He definitely asks for a soft pack of Newports.
Yeah.
I think one of the times, maybe it's not the time that he gets shot, but he's like, you don't have any Honey Nut? And they're like, nah. And I'm like, it's, like, I understand that Omar has his reasons for shaking down people in given situations, but, like, does the person that he's speaking to know how scary it is that they just said no to Omar?
In any situation.
Yeah, like, I guess the show wouldn't make much sense, though, if they made everybody totally aware and totally terrified of Omar.
Right, because
It's like Omar's coming, and then,
celebrity.
like everyone's like people are like running out of the convenience stores because he's on the block. Sad day though, sad news, and I mean, I said this to you yesterday, like celebrities, because they're human. Like we do get a lot of celebrity deaths and everything. Maybe I'm just getting to an age or something. Doesn't it feel like it happens every day now? Or not like every day,
not
but
every day, but like there's big ones quite often. I feel like now.
I remember a few years ago when people were like, what was the year people were like
2018, I think.
yeah, well,
everybody was like,
will 2018 just end?
go away?
And I was like, yeah, people die. Like it's
Right.
terrible, but like people.
that year was like horrible because every death people were like, oh, they just kept blaming it on the year, and I was like,
I gave up. I stopped believing in years. Like maybe
the
like
pandemic really did it for me.
2-ish years ago. The whole like time as a social construct thing is totally true. Like obviously
Well,
you're
yes.
older today than you were yesterday, but like, oh man, ever since my I saw something recently. Somebody was like, oh, on my like 20-somethingth birthday, I started to feel whatever. And like, unless it's a mental thing, like your body doesn't start like doing
No.
things at like certain.
But you can like
checkpoints.
categorize things, I
Yeah.
guess, based on like you have to sort of like create these markers in your mind
Yeah.
for like when things begin and end. But like the pandemic really crushed home the idea that years don't matter because
No.
and like at the end of it 2020
Yeah.
everybody was like, thank
Oh,
God.
that bugged me. I was
yeah.
like, no.
And here we are in the
Just now
ninth
is the
month.
worst.
In the 9th month of 2021, wouldn't you know it? Not everything has been solved.
On the subject of years, I got a big regret. And not that it matters, but I posted a joke post on Instagram while pretty buzzed, and it sucks because I don't want to be like the you deleted the post, you coward guy. But
Yeah,
for
I saw it happen and I cringed.
confusion's sake, I think it's still funny, but I think that if I go back and do it again, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but I also think that like it's funny because it didn't seem like you were intentionally trying to trick people. Well, all right, well, so the context here is that DJ posted a photo on his Instagram, him posing with 20 birthday balloons that said 29. What was your caption?
Easy breezy, beautiful birthday girl.
Which that seems jokey enough, and I think that most people, if they really thought about it for more than like 15 seconds, would be like, DJ's definitely not 29, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I thought. But it just shows, not that like, oh, whoa, people think I'm young. It's just that people just don't care about how old anybody is.
People don't care about other people.
Right, right. So like you see, it's okay, it's your birthday, and you like it,
There's
and you move
2
on
seconds
and
out of
everything.
that person's day where they don't put any thought into it. They're just like,
Right.
happy birthday, king.
Right. And I saw like some like
I
pretty
did.
close to legitimately close friends did like text me
Yes.
saying like happy birthday.
I saw Miles commented happy birthday, and that made me question. I didn't know if he was joking.
I don't know, but like people that were at my 30th were commenting like happy birthday, and I was like, ugh.
In fairness, I saw it, and I was like, wait a second here.
Yeah.
Have I did I fuck up DJ's birthday? Like in my mind, I thought that we were birthday month buddies, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that I went to his birthday party. Have I been like? Has he been playing the long con on me for like years?
That would be a weird one. I mean, I updated the caption to just say like it's not my birthday, but this was one of many realizations over the past couple of years that like social media is stupid and don't do it.
None of it
don't
means anything.
don't think about it.
Yeah.
Don't whatever. But I'm like now it's weird. I don't know if like if I make new friends or anything, they're like the first thing they'll see is like, oh, he's 29. Well, we're 40, so we can't hang out with that guy. I'd be like, no, like that's like 40-year-olds. It's like those are the only people I hang out with.
I'm not 29. I'm just a liar.
Yeah, it was a good photo though.
It was a fine photo.
It was a photo.
I didn't look at it and was like,
I'd
DJ
Photoshop
had
in-
to post this one.
Maybe I'll Photoshop out some stuff and just make it like I'm somewhere else. But I felt this like weird drunken anxiety of like feeling bad that when people texted saying like nice things and
Well,
happy birthday.
You probably should have taken some early bird CBD then to
While drinking?
lessen that anxiety. No, don't
Not-
do that. Don't do that.
Not going to recommend that on the pod.
We've gone back and forth about this quite a bit.
I don't know if ever on the podcast.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Where it's like you don't want to mix
No,
those,
especially
those things.
don't do craft beer and weed is not a good combination. You'll
Horrible.
get sick. Don't
confirm.
don't do that.
And my realization, which to be fair, you had given me that piece of advice well ahead of my actual realization of that fact. It was when I moved home for 2 weeks for Christmas this past year, and the first night that I was home, 30-year-old at my mom's, just played video games all night, took an edible,
Yeah.
had some great treehouse beers, and ended up getting the spins and puking for hours. And I felt like the biggest loser on the planet Earth because there I was, an adult man spending the first night at home at his mom's in years, and he got sick playing video games.
So that's tough. I mean, there's parts of that are like fine. It's the getting sick and then having the anxiety of like, oh no, like does my mom know
Right, that I'm
puking that I'm
and
booting over here
yeah.
from overindulgence?
And what could I possibly say that would make me seem like less?
Sorry,
of an
the video
absolute
games were
piece of
flowing.
trash? Yeah.
Sorry.
Not to mention another layer of this is that I was streaming at the time, and I like just got hit with a total anxiety attack, and I left the stream up. It was just like my empty chair for about 7 to 43 minutes as
I was gonna say
puking.
way longer than say.
Yeah.
If it were 7 minutes, then I have so many more questions.
And I came back, and I was so embarrassed that I crawled to my computer so that I wouldn't show up on the camera,
and
I ended stream.
oh, love that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have done a lot of the things in this story, but I would have done that part.
Yeah, it was. I did like a whole. It was like a scene out of The Ring where like the girls crawling on the floor, being really fucking creepy and alien-esque. That was me crawling back to the stream to close it so that nobody saw me.
I'm not a puker really, but
Me neither. Like outside of being forced to do so.
and I'm not a spins guy, and all of those have happened with the combination of I think craft beer. And I'm not one to. I don't really ever not in years. I don't overdo it on marijuana products. I do what I.
Doctors recommend?
Yeah, honestly, right. Yeah, I like.
You follow the labels
with my card. Not to brag. With I do what I need to get where I need to go, and that's kind of it. But I've had multiple experiences, only 2, but both were before this happened to you, by the way. And I think I told you after.
Yeah, you
each
told
time,
me.
like,
Yes. Yeah.
Second time,
don't
like,
do this.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
Hey, tried it again. Doesn't work. Don't do this. Yeah. So in case you've maybe gone down that path and haven't had bad luck yet,
Don't
quit while
test
you're
it.
ahead.
Yeah.
Don't test it. It's not a good time.
Something that you might want to test though.
Yeah.
Is early bird CBD, because
Yeah.
early bird gummies are a recreational hemp product, and they contain around 2.5 milligrams of natural THC. So they'll give you a little bit of a buzz while hitting you with the CBD that you want. There's about 12.5 milligrams of CBD in each gummy. They're formulated for fun and to make you feel good. That's really the sweet spot. You want a little bit of THC to maybe get a little buzz going, maybe watch like a movie or something. Man, there's nothing better than just popping a gummy and sitting on the couch.
Kind of melt into the bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the best. There's a ton of different use cases. Some folks use them to relax. Some use them to pregame a little before going out. Again, be careful when you're doing that. Some folks like to get that little buzz before they hit the beach or whatever. And when it comes down to it, Early Bird gives you a nice mix of both.
I'm thinking that just gave me like that. That was just like a cool list of like, oh, here
Here's
places
some
where you don't
ideas.
smoke weed, where you don't do early bird, whatever it may be, that could be cool. Like
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was kicking myself at Dead & Co. I was driving anyway, so it was out of the question. But I was like 20 minutes into the set, so like about a third of the way into their first song. I was like, damn, it would be. I was like, I'm having a great time. Make this even greater. Just a little bit of that.
As somebody who has never been to a Dead & Co. and is like doesn't have much
Oh yeah,
Grateful Dead experience, I just assumed that you had to be high to go to one of those shows.
A lot of. I was gonna say like a lot of pot smell, but how's that different than any other concert?
True.
I would say the pot smell. We would talk about this. Has kind of gone away at shows because everything is edibles and everything is people are doing or they're early burden. They're doing their edibles or they're
vapes.
vaping, whatever it may be. Like the actual vaporizers where you put the flower into the thing, like that is odorless. So much of it. Like we were at, I forget who we were watching at a music festival, and it was just like not even one. Like probably everybody there probably smoking weed, and you not even
Not
one
a
smell
hint
of anything.
of marijuana.
But Dead & Co. A lot of people going old school.
A lot of traditionalists.
Oh, I bet if you were just be like, hey, do you need? I've got some extra batteries in case like your vape needs anything. They'd be
They,
like,
smack you in
what
the
are you
face.
talking about? Like if you went to Shakedown Street with like vaporizer accessories, you wouldn't be able to get to like trade it for a grilled cheese. That would be very very low value there.
Anyway, early bird, their goal sort of is to kind of microdose the THC and make you feel great without getting quote unquote lit. And by the way,
I agree with that.
And yeah, I mean, like, I'm okay with getting lit under the comfort of my own home.
If you
but like,
if that's what you
right.
so choose, of course.
But like, oh boy, I would not want to be in that situation away from home. So like, if you want to take it easy, you want to microdose, you want to sort of get the subtle impact. Early bird is really good for you. Also, it's Austin based, which by the way, we love Austin. And being a Washed podcast, Washed is Austin based. You love to see it.
People forget.
Support local business. And so you wanna dabble in some early bird. Use the promo code BRUNCH. It'll get you 20% off everything. So go to earlybirdcbd.com. Use the promo code BRUNCH. That's 20% off. The discount codes are single use, which means every customer can only use them once. But promo code BRUNCH will get you 20% off at earlybirdcbd.com.
Okay. Do we do ABBA or do we do Don't Breathe 2?
I'd like to talk to you about Don't Breathe 2.
All right, let's do it.
I watched Don't Breathe 2. This is it's certainly a movie. I'll say.
So to the devotees of the podcast, the non-devotees that don't know, Pete told me about Don't Breathe because I wouldn't
You
watch
watched it, right?
No,
You
that
didn't watch
was
the first one?
I believe that's like the only DJ or Pete tells
Really?
DJ.
I
We
thought
don't
I thought
have-
you did see it, and I thought that because you saw it, you were like, "There's no chance I'm seeing the second one."
Oh no.
Okay.
I mean, because I saw the trailer for the first one, there's no way I was seeing the first or the second one. I couldn't, but when I saw that they were making a second one, I was excited because I was like, Pete's gonna have to see it and tell me about it. But I was like, no, oh my god.
All right, here's a fun
don't
exercise then. You explain to me my explanation of the first Don't Breathe.
You. Okay.
Like, what do you remember from Don't Breathe?
It is set in. Is it set in Detroit?
Detroit, USA.
Detroit, USA, and we don't make fun of Detroit anymore. Thanks for the
Nope.
election.
No,
There-
but I will say they choose, both in this one and the last one, they choose the shittiest filming locations they can possibly find. Like, this is not Detroit propaganda in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, okay. So, set in Detroit, best pizza. Not necessarily best pizza. Love Detroit style pizza. A bunch of ragtag kids decide they're going to break into a guy's house because they say he's got a fortune in there, and he is blind.
Mm-hmm.
They break in, and it pisses him off. He gets furious about it, throws a whole fit, and he begins killing them because he's pissed at them.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of them die.
He's a former Navy SEAL.
Yes, he's a former Navy SEAL, and somebody did something to him, and he kidnapped somebody, and they're in the basement, and I don't even want to repeat what I think you say that they did, but it involves insemination with a kitchen product,
Mm-hmm.
and do they set that person free?
They
They kill the guy and set the person free?
No.
Ah,
Did you read the Wikipedia page?
no.
Okay, because I didn't remember half of this stuff, and
So you didn't remember what I was just telling back to you?
yeah, but like
It was probably incorrect what I told.
no,
back
it's
to you.
all all correct because I went and I read the Wikipedia page last night as I was watching Don't Breathe because I was like, or Don't Breathe 2 because I was like, I don't know if I really remember what happened in the first one, but
You're
you
like,
were,
I think DJ saw this and told
like,
me about it. I don't know
you
if I
are
ever saw
you
it.
are hitting some very very accurate minor details.
Okay.
Like the kitchen appliance thing was correct. I did not remember that myself until I read the Wikipedia thing, and I was like,
if
oh,
I saw
gross.
that in a movie, I would think I would
Fair
be
enough.
pretty scarred by
So
it.
yes, the plot of the first one is that these kids break in. Everything DJ says. The woman in the basement is the woman who I believe she was drunk driving, and she hit the guy's daughter, killed his daughter.
I thought that there was involved a drunk driver.
Yeah, the woman was drunk driving, killed the daughter. He kidnaps that woman, chains her in the basement, and then artificially inseminates her with a turkey baster, and is keeping her locked up until she delivers him a quote unquote replacement child.
Did they
to-
say replacement child in that?
Like I think that he does. Like you have to give me back what you took from me, or something along those lines. So these kids break in, they free the woman, but the woman gets shot by the guy as he's trying to kill one of the other kids.
Intruders.
So he accidentally kills the woman. He's very upset about it because he wants that baby. And like I think that one of the kids gets free. It's not really important. All you need to know is that like the guy seemingly dies but doesn't. He somehow survives.
And is this the same dude?
Same dude.
Wow.
Same dude in Don't Breathe 2. And the premise of this one now, all right, so moving on to Don't Breathe 2. The premise is he now has a young daughter who presumably you can probably guess not really his daughter.
Okay.
He has a young girl. You're kind of wondering where the hell did this girl come from? And he's training her in the arts of like survival. He's very, very strict with her. If she doesn't pass all these tests, then she's not allowed to leave the house for a week. And like they mentioned that she hasn't gone outside in months. And so she finally gets to go out. She goes out with this woman who drops off groceries for the blind guy. She goes into town. She goes into a public bathroom. There's a guy waiting for her in the public bathroom, and he's like, "You're beautiful, blah 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 blah," and like really creepy. Obviously, like this girl is probably
Does he know her name?
No.
Okay.
This girl is like I would guess 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, that range.
Ugh.
So like for like an adult man to be even looking at a girl in a public bathroom of that age, very, very
Bad.
concerning. Yes. Then you see on the news that there's a group of bandits out there that have been killing people and stealing their organs and harvesting their organs.
Ugh.
And so you kind of be like, you're kind of wondering, is this guy part of those organ hunters? And he ends up following the girl back to the house where she lives with the old man.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy and his squad kill the woman that she's with. I don't know why. I don't know why they killed the woman that she's with. They wait outside the guy's house. They break into the guy's house. They're walking around. They're looking for something. They're looking for something. They're looking for something. They're looking for the girl. They're looking for the girl. You don't know why. You're kind of being like, because they're not taking anything.
Yeah.
They're walking around the house. Also, the guy's not at the house at this point because they killed his dog in the woods, and he goes out to the woods to look for his dog. So he leaves the house. They enter the house. They're walking around. They're looking for this girl. She's slippery as hell. She's finding all these creative ways to dip, dive, duck, and dodge. And eventually, she sort of like gets discovered, but she runs into the basement and locks herself in like this box that is seemingly designed to like house a person. Like basically
So like
a
he was preparing
containment
for
cell,
this
essentially.
situation.
Yeah, like it's like it's sort of like an escape room, like a portable escape room,
Yeah.
or a panic room or something. So she locks herself in there. One of the guys that one of the goons that was sort of chasing her starts to fill the box with water. Fills the box with water, tries to like flush her out of there, and like he threatens. The guy comes back. The guy.
I'm so glad I didn't watch this. By the way, I'm already like.
It is.
I'm not having fun.
The guy comes back. He knows something's up. He knows people are in the house. He goes down to the basement. He like cuts the power, goes down to the basement. The guy threatens to stick the goon threatens to stick a live wire in the box with the water and the girl. And so this guy shows himself. The old guy shows himself, and like there's a fight scene. He blows up the guy.
What?
He blows up the guy with like this gas and this live wire. Blows up the guy, and then they start to like kind of put pieces together where the group of goons is looking for the girl because the leader is her real father.
Oh.
The leader is the girl's real father, which at this point I'm kind of confused because
they were threatening to kill her.
no, they're not threatening. They weren't trying to kill her. They were trying to like find her.
So it was a bluff. They weren't going to fill it.
But like at this point, you're kind of like you're really like, all right, so well, who am I supposed to be rooting for at this point?
I know, because I've heard about what that guy did in the first one. So
Right.
not rooting for him.
Right, and like
I just want the girl to be okay.
He's seemingly the good guy for a good portion of this one.
Oh.
It's a real weird situation because like in the first one, the guy is like the people are like seemingly the good, well-intentioned characters.
Right, they're just like rotten kids.
Yeah, and they're trying to steal from this guy who's clearly fucked up, and like you are sort of pulling for the intruders. But like in this one, the guy's kind of just minding his own business.
Yeah.
And they're trying to fuck with him. But you do find out that he kidnapped this girl. He took this girl because he thought the parents were dead, because the father ran a meth lab and he blew up the meth lab and they thought that everybody was dead. So by chance, this old blind fuck
man
stumbles upon a girl who survived a meth lab explosion. Just found her in the street, took her home, raised her as his own. So the dad comes in with his goons. He's trying to steal her back. He eventually does get her, and he's on his way out. They really beat the shit out of this old guy throughout this process, by the way. In the first one, the guy is sort of like untouchable, a force of nature to be reckoned with. Second one, oh man, he takes his licks.
Whoa, okay.
Maybe it's a separation of like these were just a couple of hoodlum kids.
Right, they just didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy, they had all served. They were veterans.
Okay.
They had all served. They're coming to get his daughter back. So they get the daughter. They get the hell out of there. They bring her back to their location. They tell her the truth, and they sort of reveal like what really happened. And this guy's not a real father, and she's had her mind blown a little bit. She wants to stay. She ends up meeting her mom, who did not die in the explosion.
So nobody died in this explosion.
Nobody died in this explosion except for, like, nobody even went missing except for the daughter. She meets the mom. The mom, because of the meth lab explosion, her insides are all shit now.
Oh,
Like, she's dying.
okay.
So the reason that they kidnapped the girl is so that they could kill the girl and take her heart and put it in the mother, because the mother needs a direct relative's heart to keep on trucking. And the reason why they're so adamant on getting this girl's heart into the mother is because, wouldn't you know it, the mother's the meth cook. The mother is the meth cook. They need to keep her alive to keep the operation running.
You had the opportunity to not see this movie and just make anything up and just like see how much you could fuck with me on this, and like I'd just kind of be hopeless unless I checked Wikipedia, which I probably wouldn't. There's no way you could make up something this psychotic.
It is.
And
it
I'm
is
alarmed
absolutely
that
insane.
there is a way, apparently, that somebody could make up something this psychotic.
It
the makers
is
of this movie.
Absolutely insane. So they go to take her heart out, and as they've got like the saw ready to go, the surgeon that they hired to do the surgery is like a centimeter away from cutting this girl open. Oh, and by the way, she has to be alive during the surgery because
right, it's right. Actually, I don't know how that works. I don't know how heart transplants work.
I don't think that the people
Yeah,
are
right. I was
usually
gonna say,
alive.
yeah, they
That
can't
is
be
murder.
That would be you'd be killing them.
Yes. Because it's not being done in a real hospital. It's like at some offshoot camp headquarters base in an abandoned building in Detroit. They have to keep her alive because they can't preserve the heart long enough and like make the swap over before the heart goes bad or expires.
Oh, okay. So that's what I've seen in movies where they're like, this guy like 13 minutes, like
Yeah.
the second this person dies, like they got 12 minutes to get the heart into wherever.
Yeah.
Because they can't. It's always preservation
Right.
shit.
So they needed to preserve it, and it needed to be beating and receiving blood at the time that he takes it out or whatever.
Jeez.
So, as they're about to do that, old man shows up in the nick of time, cuts the power. The saw gets turned off. All the medical equipment gets turned off. She's alive for now. The guy starts taking them out one by one. He doesn't kill a guy, but he does. This one that I'm talking about, he doesn't kill him. He takes a handful of super glue and smacks it on his face, and like super glues his nose and his mouth shut, and so the guy can't breathe. And one of the other guys shows up to rescue him by stabbing him in the cheek with a screwdriver to open up a hole for breathing. And then they're like, the guy who stabs him with the screwdriver says, "Bro, he's a Navy SEAL." And the other guy, in a very dramatic scene with still his mouth super glued shut, picks up a piece of broken glass, slices his mouth in half so that his lips will separate, just to deliver the line, "A dead SEAL, bro." It was like the most dramatic, most like grotesque display to deliver the lamest line of all time. So like you can see where this is going. He takes out them all one by one. Once they realize that they are playing from behind, that this guy is a real psychopath, they unleash a dog. Their like plan B is a dog. And it turns out it's a good plan B because this dog is a really good hunting dog, but the guy does avoid it. Turns out killing a dog is something that he can't do.
Wow.
He will do anything to get this
Yeah.
girl back, except he just refuses to kill a dog, which, credit to him.
Well, I can
Res-
understand his. I mean,
I
I can't
appreciate
understand
that.
a lot of the things this guy's doing, but I can see where he says like, "These people wish to harm me. This dog doesn't know. This dog
He's
has
only
been
following orders."
misled." Yes.
But I think once you impregnate somebody with a turkey baster,
All sorts of morality just go out the window.
exactly. Drawing the line at killing a dog
Right.
it seems a little unfathomable.
Yes.
So he doesn't kill the dog. He does kill all of the other people, and that's not true. He almost kills
I was
all
gonna
of
say,
the
I
other
hope not
people.
the kid.
He almost kills all of the other people, but the kid ends up killing her father because her father is about to kill the old man. So she chooses to save the old man.
I could see that happening in this movie.
She chooses to save the old man, but I believe he dies anyway.
Really?
Yeah, I believe the old man dies at the end.
But like the big thing is at the end is that she kills her dad over
Yes.
him.
Yes. She makes her decision.
Wow. I mean, that is.
Blood is not thicker than water.
I am just.
It
gonna say
was-
That is a lot to put on a kid's
It
plate.
is a movie.
That kid. What a shitty day. This all happens in one day.
Absolutely.
Oh my. Yeah. I would have been if they like took breaks.
Yeah. It is a sequel that was, I would classify as not good, but it is quite close. Like it's playing the hits, really. It just does the same shit as the first one, although
Okay.
the first one I thought was significantly better.
I'm looking on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's got a huge brunch score. Enormous brunch score. Audience score doubles.
Yeah.
Its
More
tomato
than
meter.
doubles.
41% tomato meter, 85% audience score. What is? Let's see. What's Don't Breathe?
I feel like Don't Breathe was received pretty well.
I mean, if they made a sequel, Don't Breathe. Wow. 88% tomato meter.
Wow.
78% audience score. My
yeah,
goodness.
So like Don't Breathe was good. Like it was very creepy.
Mhm.
The plot was like fucked up, but fucked up in a way that a movie like that, which serves the purpose, I guess.
Minus the whole person in the basement thing, it seemed
But
like
that's, like,
its
the real
premise,
twist.
right? It seemed like its premise though was like a pretty creative break-in movie. And how many? It feels like we've seen every type of break-in movie. So something I would think like him being a blind man would be twist enough, but I didn't write the
It's a
movie.
fucked up blind man. The sequel, just like it doesn't do anything for the story, really. Like, there's nothing that you see in this movie where you're like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that serves a real purpose. And maybe that's because you saw Don't Breathe, the original one, and you're like, how much weirder and crazier can it get while, like, staying in a sensible lane?
Right. But I mean, if this was successful, and it looks like it has been, or at least kind of well received, is there enough meat left on this old guy's bone to have a third one?
No.
I mean,
I don't
it's-
think so.
Again, I guess I shouldn't be given how well received the first one is, but I'm just so shocked they made a sequel to this movie. You still haven't seen Free Guy, huh?
I still have not seen Free Guy, no.
I'm
How did I do, by the way? I hate explaining movies because I feel like I'm all over the place.
No, I loved it. And there were times in which I was like, I'm not speaking, but like you're doing great. I almost wanted to say at points like, look, like I know you've had to speak for like 90 seconds without interruption, but that's not me like zoning out or anything. That's me saying you're
Okay,
doing great, sweetie.
Okay, great.
I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
And
There's
Lord
things
knows
that,
I wasn't seeing it.
there's things that like I did not like go into in detail in terms of like how the killings and stuff happened.
Yeah.
But like whatever,
I
it
appreciate
doesn't
that.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah, you should I'm excited for you to see Free Guy one of these days. It has a 94% score on
I feel like they are
or audience score.
They are really fucking up like these at-home release choices because like the movies that you would think
I know
that would be good for at-home releases are like only in theaters, and then you have like Suicide Squad, Dune, like all these like big productions that you should see in theaters, and they're being released in theaters and at home.
And
like,
everyone's gonna take that option,
right?
If you let me see it at home, I'm seeing it at home.
Yeah, and I watched Don't Breathe at home, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I paid $20 to watch it on demand.
Interesting. So I didn't know what its story was. Is Candyman in theaters? I think Candyman. I checked.
Only in theaters.
It was only in theaters because
Yeah.
I was considering watching it.
That one, that one I knew was only in theaters because they waited like 2 years to release it.
That's
It kept
right.
getting
If you just like
delayed.
had it handy and you didn't put it out last year, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm bummed that Free Guy is not available at home because I would definitely pay $20 to watch that, and it feels like a movie that you don't really miss out too much on by watching at home.
But it was a good one to see in theaters because it's like very big and there's like a lot of explosions.
Oh yeah, it's
and
an
like
action movie.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely an action movie.
All right, maybe
Again,
I'm wrong there.
I'm interested to have a conversation with you about it, just given that I mean, if everybody likes it, it means that gamers liked it because I liked it as a non-gamer, and I was wondering like, did they like dumb this down too much that I got it? Like, will gamers hate it? But there were definitely laughs that in points where I was like, I don't get what that reference is, but like it makes that person happy. There's, I think, I won't give it away, but there's like a reference to some superhero thing that got like a big like oh, and I was like, I know who that actor is, but I don't know who they play or what makes this relevant.
Was it a Deadpool reference? Because Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool.
No,
and I
but
could for sure see that
this
being
is like
a joke.
super dead. This movie's like kind of Deadpoolish anyway.
I feel like everything Ryan Reynolds is doing at this point in time is Deadpoolish because he's
like,
so good in
hey,
Deadpool. They're
what?
like,
I'm not
hey,
supposed
do
to be
that
doing
over
this.
here.
How come I'm doing this?
Yeah.
Huh? I'm not supposed. Wait, I don't know you. You need me to do something? Okay, I'll do it. Here goes. Like that. That's all Free Guy is, and that's all Deadpool is.
Yeah, I feel like people should hate Ryan Reynolds by now, but like he's so likable and he's so likable and so good at doing that nobody's sick of it yet.
Yeah, no. Ryan Reynolds is good. And again, I ask you, do not look at the cast before you go to see it, because halfway through, there's a new character introduced that I was so delighted to see that this was the person who played this character. They were saying, "Oh, so and so's coming, and then when so and so showed up, I was like, last person I thought would play that person. If people have seen Free Guy, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Was it the guy who played the Gabriel in The Walking Dead?
Yes.
Nice, nailed it.
And he came in, he's like, now listen, they don't call me String for nothing. And then Dominic Purcell comes in and he's like, I'm not supposed to take issue with this. Dominic West is. And then Dominic West comes in and he's like, you Blake a shitty Stringer Bell. Ha ha ha. What a joke.
Let's talk some ABBA.
Oh my God. And I've been having a good week. No, it doesn't make sense. It's been a great week since we learned that ABBA is coming back. There were long murmurs of there's going to be some sort of digital tour or concert that ABBA does where they weren't going to actually participate in it, but avatars of them were. And I was like, shut up, I don't care, whatever, I'm going to see it.
That's the biggest racket of all time.
Such a racket.
Yes.
Hologram concert when you're still
I'm
alive.
I'm not doing any of the work. Send in the digital representation and send me my money in the mail.
I mean, like, I don't say this term anymore, but like absolute king shit. Just being like, oh, so they do holographs for when
there's ever a moment to unretire that phrase.
Yeah,
it's for fucking this.
They're like, oh, so you use this when someone has died? What about when someone doesn't want to do it and still wants to make the money? Oh, I'm also not going to sing.
Absolutely
You've got
not.
recordings of me doing that. I did that
Just
years
play
ago.
the fucking hits.
Yeah. Just here's what you do.
I'm also not dancing.
No, nothing.
Get somebody else to be my body double.
Nothing. You do what Elton John did on a song called Benny and the Jets. Just take the studio recording, put a bunch of reverb on it, add some like claps in the background. People will think it's live. No one will know the wiser.
Biggest
Drop
scam in
that
the
in there.
world.
Have I put that in the fun facts, the brunch fun facts?
I think that you had mentioned it.
Okay, I'm gonna write it down.
That drives me crazy when that happens. I know, like Elton John has done it, so it can't be that bad. But like when people fake sell live performances or like acoustic performances.
Oh, yeah.
Like fake acoustic performances are the worst thing in the world, where you can tell that it's like still very, very produced.
Yes.
And very, very crisp, but like they just replaced whatever instrument with an acoustic guitar.
Yes, they that happens a lot on YouTube, where someone will like post a cover and it'll be like them at a microphone and their friend at a guitar, and just like given the equipment they're using, it's like there's no way that what I am hearing is what you are doing
Right.
there. You just recorded yourself, like you did a recording like set to this video of you standing there singing it.
Yeah.
And Brad and I joked about doing that with the Vineyard Nights stream, of making like a live concert DVD where we just like goose the shit out of the whole thing, just like replace all of the audio, just like go into a studio even though Vineyard Nights itself wasn't made in a studio, just like make it sound as like top tier, add maybe some chair squeaks or something so it sounds like it was live. We were just sitting here. Unbelievable. So, ABBA, shouts out to them for really pulling some shit.
Being legends and or like grifters.
I mean, I still don't totally get this. I thought when they were talking about this, I feel like it was a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's been years.
That they were saying like there's
Like,
gonna do like they're gonna
gonna
come
make new
back
music,
and do a tour.
yeah. I
And
remember
I
the
just
new
forgot.
music thing, and like that was promised like the year that Mamma Mia 2 came out, because I remember looking up the
Yes.
ABBA Wikipedia page, and that was like the last note. It was like, oh yeah, ABBA's getting back together and making new music, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then it got delayed for 2 years, and now it's coming out, and like good for them, I guess.
So, all right. NME writes, they're putting out an album called Voyage, drops November 5th, and it includes the songs I still have, I don't think
Faith
it's
in You?
called, I thought it was I Still Have Faith in You, but NME says
I
I
Still
still
Believe in You?
have the faith in you.
Oh really?
I think it's called I Still Have Faith in You. And Don't Shut Me Down. And those are great songs, especially I Still Have Faith in You. They also revealed a revolutionary concert dubbed ABBA Voyage, which will see a digital version of ABBA, and then in parentheses it says, not holograms, perform alongside a 10-piece live band. This makes it even weirder that they have humans in there, and there's 10 people there. 14 there's 14 people.
I'm so confused.
10 of them are humans, and none of those 10 people are Bjorn, Benny, Frida, or Agneta.
So they're not holograms. They're not like digital projections. Are they like? So what does it say?
Maybe like
read me that-
animatronic?
Yeah, no, like I'm guessing that they're like digital recreations. Like I wonder if there's 4 people that are wearing those stupid fucking suits, and then they're
faces?
CGI'd.
Maybe. It says Anderson, Alveus, Faltskog, and Frida have all been involved in motion capturing themselves for the experience. Also, the run of shows will take place at the purpose-built 3,000-capacity ABBA Arena at London's Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, starting May 27th, 2022. That's annoying. A, I'm going. B, I thought when they were like, they're going to have concerts, they're just not going to be there. I figured the fake ABBA could at least come to us.
Like tour, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
And-
only are they not touring, and not only are they playing at one arena,
Yeah.
it is a specific
Yes.
ABBA arena.
They won't come to Boston, but they also won't go to where they're having the concert.
Yeah.
It should say, this whole NME piece should say,
Like,
to clarify,
This
they
isn't
are not
about
going
you.
to be a part of any of this. These
This
shows,
isn't about you.
which
It's not even really about them.
they won't go. You so badly want to go, you'll go anywhere. You'll say, where can I go to see them? Nowhere, because they're not going to go. But there will be a concert if you want to go to that. They just won't be there.
So the fact that they did do motion capture suggests to me that they are going to be CGI'd into a live performance.
That kind of makes sense. That makes as much sense as
it
any of this
can possibly make, yes.
Okay, so you're right. 2017, they announced plans for a virtual tour. Then those plans were delayed, and they said they would be 2 songs.
You know how I could be very in on this?
What?
Is if they made it VR.
Oh.
I got a VR headset. If I could go to a listen,
in your home, you can't see Free Guy at home, but you can see Free Duh at home.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Listen, if they can, if they can digitally put themselves into this concert, why can't I? Why can't I digitally go to the concert? Why can't I be there virtually if they're gonna be there virtually?
Love that, and you could pay different tiers for like different virtual, so you can have like a bad seat. You could be like,
Yeah.
oh well, the getting price was like $80. I just wasn't gonna
There
spend
would be-
$250 to be on the floor.
There would be a hilarious element of doing a VR concert and being
It's like
stuck
so
in a
authentic
really
that there are,
shitty
like,
seat.
there's good seats and there's bad seats.
In this specific ABBA designed arena
Yeah.
for these shows, there's like a Barclays
pole.
Center
Yeah.
situation where you can't see part of the show.
Yeah, you're like, look at that. There's just like 50 feet of just like empty. Why can't anybody sit there? They're like, oh, well, that's actually kind of a ramp, but it doesn't support people. Well, why'd they build it like that?
This
That's
was
stupid.
Specifically designed for this show.
I would love that. So that's the good news. There's new ABBA, and I can't wait. We like the music that we've heard so far. We want to talk about, do we want to do like a...
The way that you said that is very funny because
What?
it just sounds like we like what we've heard from ABBA so far.
So, look, so far...
like,
Well, it actually is kind of weird. They sound like ABBA songs, but like the biggest quality of ABBA music is nothing screams hit like any ABBA song. Just put on any ABBA song and you're like, what does this sound like? This is a goddamn hit.
yeah, you can never play like anybody who has never heard of ABBA
Yeah.
and like you sit them down, you play like any of their top 75% of their songs.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that you're playing, there's not a question in their mind. They're like, "Oh, so these guys were huge."
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. They must have been massive, and they were because they're freaking legends. I made a playlist over the weekend. They're just called ABBA faves, and I don't like the idea of doing like if we're gonna do like a top 5 or a top 10 or anything, because this would be the hardest group we've done that with, or act we've done that with. I think we've done it with Queen. We did it with Elton John,
Lady Gaga.
and those are all really hard. But
I don't know. I think like if you can do it for Lady Gaga
yeah,
and Elton John, you could probably do it for ABBA.
I think so. What do you want? You want to do 5 or 10?
I think 5 with like honorable mentions, ones that
Okay.
just missed the cut.
Okay, I think I'll be able to do that. Here's the thing. I know what my top 3 are so easily. And
I mean, that was super duper easy for me. The top 3 was not as hard as I may have expected, I guess.
yeah,
Because like I know ABBA's got like hits and all that, but you don't have to overthink it at the
right.
top. At least not for me. The big thing for me when putting together this list, the biggest challenge was like asking myself, do I like this song more because of Mamma Mia?
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, same. That's ultimately what I
It's
decided.
all just so
so
good.
my list is like almost entirely Mamma Mia songs.
Good. I think that
Right.
only my top 5 is definitely only going to be songs that have been in Mamma Mia. There will be an honorable mention for a non-Mamma Mia one, but I mean, Mamma Mia uses.
By the way, when we say Mamma Mia, you probably know this by now. We're only talking about Here
I
We
didn't
Go
know there.
Again.
I didn't know there was a second one that they made first.
Yeah, Mamma
Didn't
Mia.
know there was another one.
If you ask me, it's Mamma Mia, Here We Go.
That's right. What else are you talking about?
Right.
Let me see. Actually, I'm gonna look at my list. All 5 of my top 5 are in Mamma Mia. Here We Go.
Now
But,
that I
like,
look at it,
kinda
I
cheating.
don't know if my 5th one is in Mamma Mia too.
Oh, this is exciting. Okay, you want to go start with number 1, or I feel like
Yeah, let's start from the. We
Yeah.
usually count down, but I feel like there's gonna be no suspense at the top of the list.
I think so. Do you think that we both have the same number one?
Um,
Let's just
probably
let's
not.
just get it out there.
I
Let's have the
can't
conversation.
possibly ever try to like predict what you're gonna say about music things.
That's true.
All right. Let's say at the first on the count of 3. What's your number one?
All right. 1, 2, 3. Mamma
Dancing
Mia.
Queen.
Whoa.
Different directions there.
Okay. Pete, Dancing Queen.
Dancing Queen was number 1 for me. Dancing Queen gets the job done. It is really though like it is an A 1A 1B situation.
What is the Rutger? I think his name is Rutger. I've spelled his name so many times, but I don't know if I've ever said it. Rutger Gunnarsson is the bass player for ABBA, and there are so many songs, so many ABBA songs. This shows what a great band they are, where you could legitimately just like sing the bass line instead of any other part. And there's a video on YouTube of like very old Rutger Gunnarsson, he's dead now, of like going through like some old stuff, and there's like a bass there, and someone's like, "Hey, do you remember how to play Dancing Queen?" And he's like hadn't played it in 30 years or whatever, and he's like this old man, and he's just like fucking hopping about on the bass, just like playing it perfectly, and he's such a legend. So there's a lot of ABBA songs where you're like, good lord, the bass line, this guy's a freaking legend. Dancing Queen is top, I would say 2, 3, 4, something like that for ABBA. I go Mamma Mia number 1.
Okay.
Again,
Again, I think for me it's 1A 1B where like that's Mamma Mia is my number 2.
all right. My thing with Mamma Mia is there's only so many perfect songs in the world, and I think that Mamma Mia qualifies as a perfect song. And again, this is really silly because it's like, how isn't Dancing Queen? How isn't SOS? Like all these songs, how aren't they perfect? We are really dealing with like razor thin margins here, and there are no wrong answers.
True, but you do have the argument in your favor that like they made a musical about ABBA and they chose Dancing Queen or they chose Mamma Mia as like the name. Which suggests that would be their like best / most iconic.
They
song.
know that's going to make them the most money.
Yeah,
and
right.
these people know about making the choices that'll make them the most money. They're not even traveling for their concerts.
And if you're making a musical, and you are going away from Dancing Queen,
right,
as the name for the musical,
I know. I was going to say that when you said they chose. I was like, you know what? Why didn't they call it Dancing Queen?
Dancing Queen?
But there is not neither Mamma Mia, and we'll admit now there's another Mamma Mia movie, neither Mamma Mia scene is as good as the Dancing Queen scene in Mamma Mia 2.
Again, that maybe goes back to the discussion. Do I like this song a bit more because of what Mamma Mia did to it?
So this stinks. Now I'm rethinking everything. Dancing Queen, this is going to be another, people will see the lists and be like, oh, DJ sucks because mine doesn't have Dancing Queen.
What?
Yeah, my
top 5 doesn't have
Dancing Queen.
What?
But it's like it's an obvious goes without saying. I'm pulling my hair out trying to whittle an ABBA list down to 5. Maybe I'll change it on the fly.
For me, like I think that there are a lot of situations where like if you're a fan of like a band or whatever, a lot of the times you find ways to trick yourself into saying that like their biggest song isn't their best song.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with
It's
ABBA.
usually, like,
Dancing Queen and Mamma Mia are fucking perfect songs, and they are incredible.
Be like Houndmouth, where you're like, you know what song rules? Sedona.
Right.
You know what song we love? The one that everybody likes, because like we killed it on that one. That song is so good. Yeah, I generally don't like when people are like, oh, let me guess, you think that like Hungry Heart is a good Bruce Springsteen song? Yeah.
Yeah,
because
I
it
do.
is.
Right. But didn't people
Have fun listening to your stupid crybaby stuff about rivers.
Didn't people like hate on Dancing in the Dark?
Yeah.
People like
they
people
thought it
are
was
like that.
lame. Yeah.
Yeah, like that song fucking rules.
Oh no, all of Bruce Springsteen's hits are incredible.
You're right.
And if the reason I don't like Bruce Springsteen as much as like your classic Bruce Springsteen fan is because your classic Bruce Springsteen fan
It's like annoying about the hits.
Yeah, they won't. I mean, if we were to do like favorite Billy Joel songs or whatever, like Piano Man isn't a particularly good song. It's a fine song, but like that's a fair example, I think, of like, oh, Billy Joel has way better songs than that.
Yeah.
That's a good song, and that was
Right.
very successful and everything. But I don't go around saying like,
Oh, you
Piano
like
Man
Piano
sucks.
Man? Ugh.
Yeah, like if we did top 5 Billy Joel and
Do you have
Piano Man was number
COVID?
1
because
for you.
it doesn't seem like you have any taste.
Whoa,
That's a bar.
have you used that before?
No.
Did you just make that up right now?
Sort of, yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah, you're like, well,
Hey,
I
I got-
overheard somebody say something similar. I don't think it's what they said though.
Right.
But then that made me think.
It's a real
oh,
it's like a real Saturdays Are for the Boys situation where it's like he heard somebody else say it, but then he appropriated it
Yeah.
for his own use.
So my number 2, and Mamma Mia, perfect song, love it so much. My number 2 is maybe my favorite ABBA song.
Can I guess what you're gonna
Oh
say?
yeah,
Is it Super Trooper?
no,
Okay.
Super Trooper. God, that's also not in my top 5.
What? That's my number 3.
Oh man, I love this. You guess what my number 1 is, and it's all you guess what my thing is, and I say I don't have it on my list, and then you say, well, that's my next one.
All right. What's your number 3?
My
Or
number 2.
Are we on? Yeah, we're on number 2 for you.
In Austin, we had a very fun experience in like a cart. It was like a
The trolley, like the
The-
pull cart thing.
right, singing this like by ourselves in Austin for the whole Austin to hear.
I don't remember the song.
Do you remember that it was like an ABBA sing along?
Yeah, I thought so. Was it Waterloo?
No. Also, an early Mamma Mia 2 song though.
What was it?
One of Us.
That was the song that we were singing in the
Oh yeah,
the,
we
car-
were
the cart.
One of us is lonely. Oh, it was the best.
That is like extremely on brand that we would sing like one of the most depressing ABBA
Just like a-
songs as like the happiest people in the world.
Oh,
is
just
like
letting everybody know.
Yeah.
Sorry for herself, feeling stupid, feeling small. Oh, such a good. So
That's a great song.
that song is potentially like if you were to say, hey, best bass line ever, our friend Wayne, who like is a bass scientist, great bass player, probably understands what actually are the best like bass songs ever. And if he hears this, he's probably gonna want to kill me. But like, when someone's like, hey, best bass line ever, go. I think I would say One of Us by ABBA. That song, that is a killer bass line. Love it so much. Just such a great arrangement, and it's a great breakup song. It's It's like it is a top tier breakup song. I love it so much.
That one made my my honorable mentions. Did not crack the
Ooh.
top 5. Guess what my number 4 is?
So you're Super Trooper 3.
Yep.
I haven't done my number.
All right, go ahead
3
and
yet.
go number 3.
Okay, so here's the cutoff for me, where this is. I think the top 3 in my brain is automatic, and then
Like
after you can
elite,
get into
yeah.
like this
That's
could be
so
any
that's
song.
so wild because I had the same exact feeling where I was like, all right, 1, 2, 3, that was easier than I thought. Now how the fuck do I fill out the rest of this? And the 3 songs that I had.
Whoa, we had there's only one overlap
It's
in our
Mamma
top
Mia.
3, and it's Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
That's crazy. My number 3 is Waterloo. Love
Okay.
it. Just a great rocker, boogie woogie, so great,
So that's my number 4.
incredible.
So we have 2 on the same list, so we're going to max out at 2, I think.
yes,
Actually, not true. We could have the same.
unless I
5.
mean I feel stupid now if I don't include Dancing Queen on here. I think I might make Dancing Queen number 5, but then we're gonna have to have like a
I
long
feel like that's
conversation
an
for honorable mentions.
egregious omission.
I agree. I think that I would look back on this in a year or two
And be like,
was I being a tough guy or something? And then I'd
Why
listen
did I
back to this
overthink it?
and hear that it was like 20 minutes of me crying and hemming and hawing, saying how hard it is to choose. Dancing Queen will be my number 5.
okay.
My number 4 is SOS.
All right. Did not make my list.
Ooh, great! That song, man, that is a song. That's got an intro. It's got a verse.
It's got all the parts, man.
No, like it's its chorus is nothing like its verse. The core. I love the little tag at the end of the chord. The when you're gone, how do I? And that part is the SOS that's in Mamma Mia 2. When I said that all these songs are Mamma Mia 2,
Okay.
there is a scene where Sam is looking at a picture of Donna. It's a scene in which they're letting us know Donna's dead. And he's looking at it and he's like, when you're gone, how do I?
The way
Like,
they
oh, I guess she's
shoehorn
dead.
lyrics into like explaining the plot, and that movie
That's
is
not what that song was about. Like, they do twists
They
lyrics in that
absolutely do.
to make it more about people being dead.
Yes, it's the best. All right, so 1, Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia. Number 2, 3 was Super Trooper. 4, Waterloo. And to round out my top 5, this was extremely hard to pick the 5th one because, like, I think Waterloo's a step below the top 3 that were easy, but I knew that Waterloo had to be as part of my list.
Mm-hmm.
5 really could have been anything. I went with Gimme, Gimme, Gimme.
Oh my God! I'm so glad that one of us had it on
Yeah.
there. One of us.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's an iconic intro.
Yeah, it's so good. Just a very, very fun song.
Oh
like-
yeah.
And that's what I want from ABBA. Like, they can do a lot of things, and like they have range.
Yeah.
I want the fun stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, let me see. You've got yours is quite disco-y. You've got a pretty and
That's what I want.
I am quite all right with that. No complaints there. Mine's mine's a little more rocky. I was going to let's get into honorable mention because I initially was going to have, speaking of songs, Mamma Mia 2 likes to change to being about how Donna's dead. I was going to have my number 5 be My Love, My Life. Because
Oh, yes.
I guess I just really like ABBA breakup songs. That's a great song. But what are they doing in Mamma Mia 2 with that
Well, I mean,
song?
like, Donna broke up with life.
That's true. That's... I mean, the first, 14 times I saw that movie, I was just grinning the whole time and, not being analytical at all. But then after a while, I was like... Wait,
It's
what?
very fun to imagine them being in,
And
like,
now
the
it's over?
Very fun to imagine them being in, like, the writer's room and being like, it's a breakup song. But what if we make it about her breaking up with living?
Oh, I like that. And
Get it?
Benny and
'Cause
Bjorn are
she's
sitting there,
dead.
and they're like, "It took me 5 months to write these words. Like,
That's not at all what it's about.
I got a divorce because of this. So, I put my heart and soul into this." And they're like, "Yeah, but have you considered Donna's dead?" And
Right, but how many movies have you made? He's like,
Right.
None, but I'm planning this very complex tour that I don't have to show up for.
yeah, he's like, "Please, I am going to reinvent the entire media."
I'm going to create a tour that is like a movie in that it's not real.
There's the meme. I'm going to create a tour. I see it right now. It'll be 4 faces, 4 Jane Lynch faces, and with 60% opacity, Benny, Bjorn, Frida, and Agneta
That you can
over
see through the Jane
Yeah,
Lynch to
yeah.
see ABBA.
I'm going to create a tour so lazily. Or something.
I'm going to create a tour that is...
What is it? I'm going to.
I said the original is
Yeah.
I'm going to create a tour that's like a movie in that it's not real.
In that it's not real. Love it. That's our meme. Let's keep peppering through these.
Very
On-mems.
close to cracking the top 5 was Knowing Me, Knowing You.
Oh, great song.
Great song.
That's another one though that you know what I'm saying when it doesn't kind of follow the same thing the whole time. Its verse could be a chorus. It's like that it makes that big of a statement, and then its chorus just takes off.
Yeah, and it's also one of those songs that I like this about certain songs that the title is you cannot read the title without saying it in the way that it's sung in
The way you
song.
just said it, you said knowing me, knowing you.
Yeah,
instead of knowing me, knowing you.
There's something about those songs that when you see it on paper, you hear it in your head.
Yeah.
And I really like that about Knowing Me, Knowing You. One of us very close to making my top 5.
Love One of Us so much. I think we got to talk about. I mean, while we're talking about ones that are in Mamma Mia too, the name of the game is
also there on my honorable
such
mentions.
I mean, that song is the Vineyard Nights 3 Candle of ABBA songs. So flirty. It just got such flirty vibes, and then this big grand chorus. That's
also another one of those songs that like you read it or you see it and you sing it.
the name of the game. Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
The riddle of the model.
An honorable mention that I put on the honorable mentions list because I wanted to talk about it didn't really have a legitimate chance of cracking the top 5, but I think it's a discussion piece.
Yeah.
Take a Chance on Me.
Yeah, I'm glad. So Take a Chance on Me and Fernando, I think, are a couple of faves and massive hits that I would guess a lot of people wouldn't put in their top 5s. But still, like that was like an easy one to eliminate.
Yeah.
But still a great song.
See, I don't know if I think it's a great song.
Really?
I think that it's my
corny.
experience with it is that I think that it's a great song for like 20 seconds, and then it becomes so overwhelming that I'm like, I can't do this. I got to turn it off.
Yeah. But it
is fantastic for those 20 seconds, though.
But then again, you get into the weird. There's some more fun parts in there. I could see
It's very fun, but it is just like it feels like a sensory overload.
Yeah. How do you feel about Fernando?
Love it.
Yeah.
Although I do think that I prefer the Mamma Mia version of Fernando more than the ABBA version of Fernando.
I mean, my heart exploded out of my chest
Yeah.
when those loose ends were tied, and we figured out that
Fernando's a guy.
That's why Senor Cienfuegos was being such a baby the whole like that movie constantly tells you that Donna's dead, and that's not the most depressing part of the movie.
No. Well,
it's this guy.
It's Senor Cienfuego is also dead, but only inside.
Yes.
Only in spirit, which is more depressing than actually being dead.
They're like, oh, Senor Cienfuegos, should we put this tablecloth on this table? I could have had love. They're like, oh, here he goes. Never mind. Okay.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah. Okay, just put whatever. We don't need tables. Just go take a break. You're doing a great job. Thanks, buddy. Let me think. Do you know On and On and On?
Loosely.
I mean, I think
Not enough
that's
to make
another
an
one that I
impression.
kind of said like the title. On and on, keep on rocking. It's a great song. It's super 80s, super duper 80s. I don't even know when Super Trooper came. It's off the Super Trooper album. But it's, let's see, Super Trooper came out in 1980. So that ABBA was saying, hey, everybody, this is how the 80s are going to go. And they came out with that album with all those hits. I love On and On and On. It's got some great lyrics. Basically, there's like a whole verse that's just basically like, look, everybody, I'm hot. You've probably known it for a while. Just letting you know I know. There's a verse. She says, across the bar, I see a guy. He was kind of flirty. He was giving me the eye. So I take advantage of the fact that I'm a star. Like, threw my hair back and walked over to the bar. And I'm like, yo. I'm pretty sure, like, Benny and Bjorn wrote those lyrics, but I'm still like, Anyeta. Just
Listen,
put it out there.
If you know, you got it.
Yeah. So I'm at a bar. Everyone wants me. Why? Because I'm me. So I go over. I give this idiot a second of my time.
It is the thing that only works when you do it in a very cool song.
Right.
Otherwise, you are the
If you do that
biggest
in an
douche
interview,
in the
you suck.
worst.
You're
Yeah.
John Mayer.
Yeah, right.
You're old John Mayer. I can't believe none of us have said the winner takes it all.
That's literally that rounds out my honorable mentions.
Oh man. Let's see. Is this? How many honorable mentions can we have? We have six honorable mentions right now.
I did 5. I did 5 top 5 honorable mentions.
Oh, love
So
it.
I
Okay.
just did like a hey, if he wants 10, I've got 10, but if he wants 5, I've got 5 honorable mentions.
Let's see. What isn't on here? I've got When I Kissed the Teacher is a great kind of troubling.
Too concerning for me.
Yeah. When I wrote down. When
I've
I
watched
kissed a
too
great teacher.
much. I've watched too much Kate Mara miniseries to
Yeah.
to go for that song.
How about Why Did It Have to Be Me?
That's
One that's one that is definitely more beloved because of Mamma Mia 2. Like I'll put the ABBA version on playlists and stuff, but I know that I didn't love that song until I saw the most unsurprisingly or the most expectedly sexy scene in the world between young Bill and young Donna.
I'm looking at the Mamma Mia 2 soundtrack right now, trying to figure out if there are any songs other than Fernando that I like better from the movie as opposed to actually from ABBA.
Great question. I would imagine that it's going to be a low count.
I think When I Kissed the Teacher might actually be on that.
Yeah, that's a great one. One of us,
Andante.
yeah, but that's I like the ABBA version because it's got a little electric guitar in it. It's nice. One of Us obviously isn't as good as the ABBA version, but One of Us in Mamma Mia 2 is great. I think it's a fantastic scene where they got the split. They're in different rooms, but they're in different.
Yeah, the way that they present it is very, very cool. Actually, the way that they present most of these songs are awesome.
Yeah.
Because Mamma Mia 2 is awesome.
We can get past the whole like tying in their whole Donna thing.
Yeah.
I Have a Dream is very good in
Super Trooper is really good in Mamma Mia 2, but I like the ABBA version better, although the Mamma Mia 2 version has the three fellas drinking beers while wearing skin tight onesies.
Dude, everyone I know who has seen Mamma Mia 2 fully understands that that's like the best visual in film history.
No, there's
three aging actors mailing it in, in suits that they're probably mad they had to wear
and
holding
drinking beers. Like,
Super-ba.
as somebody who fucking loves beer,
yeah,
and like is passionate about beer, one of the biggest loves of my life, maybe. Beer has never looked better than in that scene.
Yes,
just the three aging guys who are like
varying
completely out of their element, completely out of their element, but seemingly having a good time with how out of their element they are.
Oh my God, those three, man! When the Dancing Queen scene at the, I think we've definitely discussed every crevice of this movie, so we've definitely hit on this before. But
there was a point where like we did a run of 7 months of brunch where we didn't go an episode not talking about Mamma Mia 2.
Good, wouldn't have it any other way. It still bugs me a little bit though that Sam says to Bill and Harry at the end of Dancing Queen when he sees that they came and he does this and they come over and they all hug and he's like, thank you for coming. I'm like, don't do that.
Right, like you're like brothers.
Yeah,
like your lives have been intertwined.
Yeah,
you could go decades without seeing these guys, and you should never have to like exchange niceties.
And also the like thank you for coming makes it so like, oh, thanks for
you
coming
did me
to
a
my
favor.
thing.
Yeah,
and it's like, do we really need to have this conversation? Do you really have this conversation, Sam Carmichael?
Listen, I know that nobody needs to see the first movie, but the first movie exists, and we've established this story.
Yeah.
We're all part of this.
Oh, my God. I would have been, if I show up on that boat, like, dancing, having a good time, and, like, let's say it's you and me show up, and Jeff is Sam, and Jeff's like, hey, and, like, we're hugging. We're like, yeah, we're here, boys, night. We're like, go Saturdays with the boys, the whole thing. And
Jeff's
he's like, thank you. You and I right after would be like, well, guess it's Sam weekend. Thought we were coming to Donna's thing.
Sam pissing all over the carpet to mark his territory.
Thought Sophie invited us to something, and we went because, as the audience knows, all three of us have had sex with Donna,
who is now dead.
Hold on, let's. What
when
song
she was
can
alive.
we sing here? What song can we sing? Let's make. We can make. I know we just did Dancing Queen, but we could
Run
goose
back.
the lyrics a little bit to make them about Donna. Okay, that's we're just gonna keep doing Mamma Mia episodes. Buy Vineyard Nights candles if you haven't yet. If you want them, if you don't. And check out the Friday. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
I was gonna say like check out the
Check out the
Dawson.
episode on Friday. We're gonna talk Dawson's Creek, but with a twist.
There is legitimately going to be a twist. Can't wait.
No kitchen appliances in this twist.
Mamma Mia. Oh my God, gross. Mamma Mia 2.